We turn now to the Toronto police officers showing their pride in the Big Apple instead of here in Toronto this year.
Banned from wearing their uniforms at Sunday's Pride Parade, a group heading to New York City where they can march in uniform. CTV's Tracy Tong is live in the Village tonight. Tracy, you spoke with these officers.
That's right, Zoraida. I spoke to one police constable who has been marching in Toronto's Pride Parade in full uniform for many years. He says he's disappointed that he won't be able to this year, but he and other officers are heading to New York City for Pride festivities because they feel it's important to represent their communities.
We got the Canadian pin, we got our Toronto Police logo pins here.
Toronto police officers will be taking souvenirs from home to New York City's Pride Parade this weekend.
We look forward to when we meet them that we exchange a token of our appreciation.
Toronto police officers received an invitation to march with NYPD last month. Chief Mark Saunders announced in February that the service would step away from Pride Toronto festivities after Black Lives Matter made a list of controversial demands that included removing police floats and uniforms from future parades.
I don't know if push out's the correct word. I mean, obviously we're not going to be participating in the march this year here in Toronto. However, New York City, the timing couldn't have been better. We got an invitation, so I'm looking forward to the trip to New York.
The decision to allow police officers to wear their uniforms off-duty comes from the top. Chief Mark Saunders is allowing uniformed officers to attend New York City's Pride Parade, but has just made the decision to bar uniformed officers from participating in an alternative Pride event in Toronto for first responders.
There's a fundamental difference. The New York event has a lengthy history. Chief Saunders has described the other event in Toronto as a reaction to Pride. Chief Saunders made the decision that the Toronto Police Service wouldn't march in Pride because he wanted to avoid all distractions.
Both New York City and Toronto's Pride Parades will be happening on Sunday, but Toronto's will have a lot less blue. About 100 police officers and their partners from across Canada, including 40 from Toronto Police, are heading to New York City Pride.
Even though we have a uniform on, we are also part of the community, and I think it's a very good connection to have between the uniform and the actual who we are to show our support and to be visible in the community.
Constable Regan says he'd rather be marching in his home city, but he didn't want to choose between parts of his identity. And Toronto police say that they are continuing talks with Pride Toronto, and they're also continuing outreach to the LGBTQ community. They hope that Pride Toronto's events can include uniformed officers again next year. Reporting live in the Village, I'm Tracy Tong.